The Intergalactic Summit on Kepler-442b was humanity's first formal introduction to the Galactic Council. Representatives from 47 species had gathered in the crystalline halls of the consensus chamber, their forms as varied as the stars themselves. Some floated on repulsor fields, others skittered on multiple legs, and a few existed as clouds of sentient gas contained within force fields. Jack Chen stood near the observation deck, watching the alien dignitaries mingle. As Earth's cultural liaison officer, his job was to facilitate understanding between humans and the galaxy's established civilizations. It was overwhelming, beautiful, and terrifying all at once. Remarkable, isn't it? A melodic voice said beside him. Jack turned to find himself face to face with a Vulpin, one of the fox-like species from the Andromeda sector. She stood nearly 6 feet tall, covered in russet fur that caught the light of 3 suns filtering through the dome. Her amber eyes held an intelligence that seemed to pierce through him, and her ears twitched with curiosity. "It is," Jack replied, trying not to stare. "I'm Jack Chen, Earth Delegation." "Lasara," she said, extending a furred hand. Chief xenobiologist for the Vulpine Collective. Her grip was firm, her paw pads soft against his palm. "I've been studying human biology for cycles now. Your species is fascinating." Over the next few days, Jack and Lysara found themselves drawn together repeatedly. She would appear at human presentations, asking insightful questions about Earth's ecosystems and evolutionary history. He would attend her lectures on comparative xenology, marveling at her depth of knowledge. On the 4th evening, Jack found her alone on the observation deck, staring at the nebula that painted the sky in shades of purple and gold. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said, approaching slowly. Lysara's ears flattened slightly. "I suppose." Her voice carried a weight that hadn't been there before. Jack moved closer, concern creasing his features. "Something wrong." She was silent for a long moment, her tail swishing in agitation. Finally, she spoke. "Do you know what the other species call us, the beasts people? Primitives who barely earned our seat at the council. They see our fur, our claws, our teeth, and they see animals pretending to be civilized." "That's not, it is true," Lysara interrupted, her voice cracking slightly. "Even here, at this summit of supposed enlightenment, I've heard the whispers. The crystalline unity won't share tables with us. The cephalomans refer to us as the furred curiosities in their thought broadcasts." She turned to him, and Jack saw moisture glistening in her eyes. "Do you want to know what I heard today? Ambassador Vexlon of the Reptilian Concordat told his AD quite loudly that allowing such ugly creatures into the council chambers diminished the dignity of the assembly." Jack felt anger rise in his chest. "That's despicable." Lysara laughed bitterly. "Is it? Look at me, Jack. Really look at me. I'm covered in fur like an animal. I have a snout instead of a refined facial structure. When I'm excited or nervous, my tail wags like some domesticated pet." She turned away, her shoulders sagging. "Maybe they're right. Maybe we Vulpines are just beasts playing at being something more." The silence stretched between them, filled only by the hum of the station's life support systems. Jack studied Lysara's profile, the curve of her muzzle, the way starlight caught in her fur, the intelligence and pain warring in her expression. "You're wrong," he said quietly. Lysara's ears perked slightly, but she didn't turn. Jack moved to stand beside her, close enough that he could feel the warmth radiating from her fur. "When I look at you, I don't see what they see. I see someone brilliant, one of the leading xenobiologists in the galaxy. I see someone who's patient enough to explain complex concepts to a species that just learned faster than light travel. I see someone kind, who noticed I was overwhelmed on day 1 and made sure I knew where the human-compatible food dispensers were." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "But more than that, I see someone beautiful." Lysara turned sharply, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Jack, you don't have to." "I'm not saying it to be nice," Jack interrupted gently. "I'm saying it because it's true. The way your fur catches the light reminds me of autumn leaves back on Earth. Your eyes are like amber, warm and deep. When you're excited about a discovery, your whole face lights up, and your tail creates this rhythm that's hypnotic to watch. You're graceful and strong, and yes, Lysara, you're beautiful. But I'm not human," she whispered. "I'm not like the sleek crystallines or the ethereal gas mine. I'm your you," Jack said firmly. "And that's more than enough." He smiled softly. "You know what humanity learned the hard way over thousands of years? Beauty isn't universal. It's not some cosmic constant. What one culture finds beautiful, another might find strange. We still have countless different standards of beauty across our own species. Different skin tones, body types, features. We spent centuries arguing over it, fighting over it, before we finally realized that beauty is subjective." Lysara's ears were fully forward now, her attention completely focused on him. "But here's what isn't subjective," Jack continued. "Intelligence is beautiful. Kindness is beautiful. Passion for your work is beautiful. Courage in the face of prejudice is beautiful. And by every one of those measures, Lysara, you are stunning." A tear rolled down through the fur on Lysara's cheek. "You really mean that?" "Every word," she laughed, the sound catching in her throat. "We Vulpins have a saying, the heart sees what the eyes cannot. I thought it was just poetry." She reached out tentatively, and Jack took her hand in his. Her claws were retracted, her paw warm and surprisingly delicate. "Thank you, Jack Chunivert. You've given me a gift I didn't know I needed." "The galaxy is vast," Jack said, looking out at the stars beyond the dome, full of different species with different perspectives. Some will never see past their own prejudices. But humanity's been the newcomer, the outsider, the ugly one before. We know what it's like to be judged by appearance rather than character. He squeezed her hand gently. "You're not alone in this, Lysara. And for what it's worth, I hope you'll let me keep proving to you just how extraordinary you are." Lysara's tail began to wag slowly, and for the first time since they'd met, she didn't try to stop it. "I'd like that very much." As they stood together watching the nebula paint colors across the observation deck, Jack realized that humanity's greatest contribution to the Galactic Council might not be technology or resources. It might simply be the understanding that beauty, worth, and dignity transcend form, that every sentient being deserves to be seen for who they are, not what they look like. And in that crystalline chamber, under alien stars, a human and a vulpine began to bridge the gap between species, one conversation at a time.